Yay!
All right. Hello and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Streichert. I'm an actor, comedian, and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron. I am also one of your hosts.
And an actor.
We'll see.
Aaron is an actor.
Yeah,
Aaron is going to be acting in my TV show that is yet to be named.
Yeah. Y'all have a small cameo.
Yeah, Aaron's going to have a cameo, and he's going to have one line, and it's going to be great. Actually, I might just reuse the lines from Dr. Face 2
Yeah.
and just give you the exact same role.
One of the last times I was in a movie, I had to show my tits. So we'll see what happens next. We'll see what happens next time.
Usually I have to do that before I get the role.
Yeah.
It's weird that that was a part of the role.
It was a part of the role, yeah. Well, I actually volunteered. They're like, do some background stuff. I was like, can I take my shirt off? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, well, this is
show?
part 2. This is a two-parter.
I'll send you the link. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Sam the Tech Man produced that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sam wrote it as well.
Yeah.
It was on Telus for a while. It was it was good.
Yeah, we had a little premiere party when we were in Toronto because both of our Telus Story Hive movies came out the same day, and they could not have been more different than each other because mine was about being like a kid who lost his mom and his dad's abusive and then he kills his fucking dad and it's very dark, and then Aaron's is like very fun and lighthearted.
It's a talking comic book, and I played a frat boy named Chad, so it really really different spectrums completely.
Really stretching out to all sides of genres.
Yeah.
Why did I do this?
I don't know.
I fucking
it's a
hate
good,
that.
good question.
Okay, so this is part 2 of
Impromptu part 2.
Impromptu part 2 of our episodes with the Vidos. So last episode, we're going to title it The Vidos, The Pressure, but I forgot to give them a rating. So 10 out of 10 for The Pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, or Right in the Kisser. Right in the Kisser. That's the name of the album. Pressure is one of the singles. But 10 out of 10. It's in Misfits and Vinyl history. Only you and Michael Jackson have accomplished this.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And you haven't even heard the record.
But that's, we have a feeling. We have a feeling it's going to be. It's probably one of the only times you want to be put up with Michael Jackson, but congratulations.
It's better than all the times I've been put up with him.
That's true.
See, he needs to drink PTSD.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Okay,
I wake
so-
up in the night, I'm... Yeah.
So, your guys'
Right,
album is coming out on
day,
the 16th.
What's that now?
It's out now?
It's on the
What'd you
16th.
say?
Is it out on the 16th?
Oh, 17.
Yes.
17.
17th. They told us earlier, but yes.
Baby, that's what's going on.
17. And then on March 3rd, you have your album release party in Vancouver. Can you please tell us about that? Because I am super hype.
Well, I'll say one thing. Lenny Sleeves is going to be in the audience. He's going to be there. That's right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's right. And there's big expectations.
Great
Yeah.
expectations.
That's how you talk now.
That's right.
That's how Nolan talks for real. He was fake.
I actually play Linty in all the music videos. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Dude, that's crazy because I would have never known.
We can cut around this.
Nolan's more of an actor than I am, in all honesty.
I mean, in all honesty, Nolan's performance is fucking incredible every time. So
true.
I think there's going to be a role in my TV show for Nolan.
Yeah.
Fucking A,
Let's
dude.
go.
Honestly, yeah, he's looking into voice acting. No joke.
That's
He's very
a
good at
good,
it.
fruitful industry.
Yeah,
Happy
voice acting is
baby.
insane. The amount of money
Yeah,
that
we
people make
are-
for doing voice acting. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Ever since we saw Mrs. Doubtfire,
Oh,
like when he's like doing the voices.
yeah. That was it. That's when I knew
That's when he knew
my future
he wanted to be made into a woman.
for good.
It's perfect.
Let's quit.
and you know what? He's doing a
Let's
great
get on
job.
with the surgery already, fellas.
All right.
All right.
So, every episode on Misfits on Vinyl, we review an album. It's sometimes one of our favorites. It's sometimes a really popular one. Or, when we have a guest on, it's an album that the guest picks. This week, it just so happens that it crosses all three of the Venn diagram. And the album that we are reviewing is, drum roll, Electric Shock, show the album. Boom, Arkells High Noon.
Woo!
Okay, so
I saw it.
when when you guys picked this album, what was it that made you guys want to cover Arkells High Noon?
Dude, it is. I mean, it's just undeniably the quintessential work that defines Nolan and my friendship. It's a record that we bonded over and continue to bond over to this day.
Very special album to us.
It, when it came out,
We had sex.
we made love with each other, and it played during our wedding ceremony, and it will be playing during both of our funerals. That's how much it means to me.
I can't wait to hear the
first time I ever-
bagpipe version of Dirty Blonde. That's
Yeah.
what I'm most excited for.
Yeah,
with
we-
like the
we
sad
caught it.
boy singing, like Danny Boy, except it's your thigh highs and your dirty blonde hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa,
Call it dirty ass hair.
dude. We don't.
It's actually really funny because this album, when it came out, like it was right when I moved to Calgary, and I for 2 years worked as a barbecue delivery guy. I delivered barbecues and patio furniture,
Nice.
and I was basically Hank Hill. But the
Yes.
part that's great about it was this album was played on such heavy rotation on X92.9 and on CJSW.
It still is.
And it still
Yeah.
is. And it's crazy, though, because it was on CJSW, and I remember, because I used to volunteer there, I remember when that album came in, Arkells still hadn't popped, like, and they had massive success at this point, but, like, not to where they were going. And so they were still, like, a college rock band, Like, they were still, like, what college radio stations would play. And then it was on X92.9. It was on AMP. Like, it started having pop success. It was fucking incredible. There was, all of 2015, basically any radio station that you turned to except for country, there was Arkells at least once an hour.
Specifically Leather Jacket.
Okay.
Leather Jacket
played everywhere, especially here in Calgary. It was quite a popular track.
Yeah, and 1111. Oh,
Come
my
to
God.
Light.
Come to the Light. Hey,
Dude.
kids. Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's
But
fucking incredible. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to get into about the album here. So it was released August 5th, 2014 by Dine Alone Records and Universal Music Canada. It is the Arkells' third full-length studio album. They recorded it in 2013 at the Hobby Shop in Los Angeles, California. And this album is an alt-rock powerhouse with hints of 80s synth-pop and melodies that just make each song a banger. Every single song you can hear elements of, like, Bruce Springsteen level of, like,
I was gonna say you could hear it in some of the choruses and some of the synths as well had that 80s Springsteen kind of vibe to it. I was actually noticing that listening on the way over.
Yeah, it really came to, like,
Same.
at the time, there was so much 80s stuff coming out again, like this, like, inspiration from the 80s. That's the same year that Taylor Swift released 1989, which had a fuck ton of 80s influence. There was just, like, so many pop songs that had that influence, and then they brought it in with alt-rock.
Yeah, that's true. The Springsteen was less touched than a lot of people were trying to do the aha kind of take on me 80s thing, but that Springsteen thing was kind of untapped, and when it blew my mind, man, when they came out. Obviously, I was a fan from Jackson Square days, like from day one. First time I ever heard Ballad of Hugo Chavez. I remember rocking out. Like, I remember I was like 12 or 13. I was raking leaves in my backyard. I had this little portable FM radio I would listen to, and that came on. I just remember stopping, raking the leaves, and like air bassing the bass line for Ballad of Hugo Chavez. I just like it's such a core memory for me. And since that was the first record I ever bought was Jackson Square. I was like, it was the first time in my adolescence that I had discovered a band.
First record I ever bought. Like was High Noon.
Yeah, exactly. The first album that Nolan ever bought was High Noon on CD, you know. But yeah, it was just like that was the first band that I'd ever discovered myself. Like no friend had showed me, no, you know, my parents, no influence there. It was just like a band I heard on the radio. I was like, yes, this is it. And followed them obviously through the Michigan Left days, and then bam, High Noon drops. And I remember it's so funny. I just remember running into Nolan at a Walmart, and I didn't even know he was there, and we were both there to buy the album. we're buying. HMV was closed for the third time by then, even, and I just remember running into Nolan, and he was with a mutual friend of ours, and we were both there, like trying to score this new Arkells album, and I remember we worked together at the time. And stuff like that. So it all amounted to this, like, this band that I loved since day one is really doing it now. Like, you could tell right away, like the songwriting was snappier and the hooks were more fucking crystalline. And it was all just like, it's, I don't know. I don't want to go too off because we're obviously going to work through this systematically. But
nice deep cut there.
Not good things about this album. It's like the defining work of our late teens, early adulthood.
It's the basis.
Yeah.
We draw back to this album a lot of references, like
and it taught us how to write write good songs too. Like it's constantly something we reference when we're talking to each other about what we want to hear from each other in the band. Like, I just, like, literally last night I texted Kirk. He sent me a demo last night, and I said, you got to make the pre-chorus sound like "What Are You Holding On To" from this record. I was like, that's because the chords sounded like it. I'm like, you just got to lead into it. Like, I want to hear those changes. I want it to sound exactly like that. I want the drums to. Every time we talk to each other, we're like, has to be Arkells.
So
I don't know.
What you're saying is this group is really your rally cry.
Mommy! Yes! Hell yeah!
No, I think that's really cool. That not only is it, you know, inspired you guys musically, but it also seems to be really important part of your friendship and an important part of, you know, the bond you guys have together is the share in the taste in this album. I mean, we have albums like that too. Me and Spencer. It's a really cool thing when you find a set of music that you guys can bond over and just like play the shit out of it all the time and not have to worry about what you're putting on the aux cord. Like,
yeah. No, I feel like, and it's funny because there's very distinct moments where you find those relatable music like experiences, and when you guys are talking about that, like, it's funny because there's going to be people that are listening to this that maybe don't, because like we do have listeners from outside of Canada, and obviously the Arkells are bigger here than they are elsewhere, but
of course.
They might not understand what it's like with the Arkells, but they understand that because everybody has that experience with their friends where it's like, oh shit, this is the thing. Like, this is now what we're going to be listening to for fucking ever.
Yeah, well, that's something that's really unique in Canadian music, the Canadian music industry, is that there's so many bands that are like big acts here in Canada. Like the Arkells sell out the Saddle Dome, they play big stadiums, but they might not be known. Like, it's the big thing with the Tragically Hip. It's so cool that, you know, in Canada you can garner a huge audience and, you know, lots and lots of fans, but you might not be the most known band out there.
Yeah.
It seems a little unique just because of the way the radioscape is formatted and everything like that. It really pumps up the Canadian artists.
Yeah, dude. But this is the record, to me, it feels like this is the record that catapulted them into the fucking Saddle Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know they did play, like, they were still playing like 1,000-person venues on this record cycle. I remember going to see them with my girlfriend at the time at the Commodore, it's probably the best show I've ever seen. It's like it's probably one of my favorite shows that I've ever seen.
I saw them at the Stampede would have been 2015 or 2016. They played the Calgary Stampede. Yeah, that was a really good show.
Yeah, well, that was them at their peak, but this was where I don't know. It's like they made a decision where they were just like, we're gonna really do this, and we're gonna write a fucking record, like full, like front to back, fucking bangers, and it did exactly what they wanted it to. Man, they wouldn't be where they are without this record. I don't think. I know that shit has changed since then, and they've made career moves that have gotten them where they are as well. But like, this is the fucking definitive moment where they decided, hey, we're not just gonna write alt rock radio hits. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna crush. We're gonna cross over, like you guys said, everywhere except for country. And thank God they didn't go country. Believe me, we love me some country, but
I will say this: I would love to see Max do a solo country career, because I think that would be a fucking solid move. Especially with his poli-sci fucking degree, he'd be writing some great woke country. It would be amazing. He'd be like, my girlfriend left me, but that's okay. She's her own person.
She's her own woman.
She can make up her mind. She didn't take my dog because that would have been theft, and I'm not going to put that on her.
That's a hit right there.
That is a hit right there. Okay, so getting back to the album. It was produced by Tony Hoffer, who previously worked with Beck, M83, Depeche Mode, and Foster the People. He was a 7-time Grammy nominee. And it was partially engineered by Eric Ratz, who won the Grammy for Best Latin Pop Album for Enrique Iglesias' 1997 album, his self-titled album. He also was a 14-time Juno winner, working with Cancer Bats, Billy Talent, Danko Jones, Monster Truck, and Big Wreck. So this dude, like, it wins a Grammy with Enrique Iglesias, and then fucking is working with like one of the heaviest bands in Canada, Cancer Bats, and wins a fucking Juno with them. Like, that's kind of insane.
He's got range.
Truck.
And then the other part was engineered by Harry Hess, who is the frontman for the hard rock band Harum Scarum.
That's a good name.
That is a great name. I have not listened to their music, but I love them already. Okay, so to go on to promote the album, the Arkells toured extensively, including tours in the U.S. with Lights, Tokyo Police Club, the Postels, Ex-Ambassadors, and Lydia, a European tour with Billy Talent, Augustines, and British Sea Power, and Anti-Flag, as well as a Canadian tour with Metric, the Tragically Hipped, Hollerado, and Sam Roberts.
Damn, they're hitting all the Canadian like big bands, man.
They literally were working with everyone that is known outside of Canada.
Fuck. There's some heavy hitters there. I love Metric.
Yeah, I love Hollerado. Oh man, Hollerado fucks.
We'll come back on for a Hollerado episode.
That sounds good. That sounds good. We'll schedule it in.
Yeah.
Record in a Bag, dude. That fucking album fucks so much pussy.
Oh my god. And also the fucking album art that Hollerado uses is some of my favorite, because it's like, it's almost that like simplistic fucking less is more is basically like what their album art is. It's just so fucking good. Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, to get into the About the Artist, they were formed in Hamilton, Ontario in 2006 by Max Kerman. Wow. What the fuck? So, my first flub of the episode.
There we go. You were long overdue.
Max Kerman, who was the vocals and guitar, Mike DeAngelis, who was the backing vocals and guitar, Nick Dicka, who was the bass, Tim Oxford on the drums, and Dan Griffin on the keyboard and vocals. They originally called themselves Charlemagne until another band threatened to sue them. Which, as soon as I read that, I was like, was it Charlemagne the God that threatened to sue them?
Could have been.
Yeah. Could have been.
The Arkells is a much better
name. It was
name.
his estate from the 1400s.
And okay, so
Charlemagne's great grandson.
Okay, wait, is Charlemagne, like, what is Charlemagne?
I don't know. It's in a social studies textbook somewhere.
Nice. Rack my brain for knowledge.
Man, I love that we all obviously passed social studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was the worst class. The only reference I know is like in Malcolm in the Middle, like Bryan Cranston's character is like he used to have this like radio alias, Kid Charlemagne.
Kid Charlemagne. That's right.
It's the only reference I know.
Kid Charlemagne here.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it's a very clever name, but I don't know the reference. So
Sam?
That's the only thing I have to trace back
Charlemagne the
to.
Great was a former Holy Roman Emperor.
Ooh, he was
Ooh.
a former Holy Roman Emperor.
Nice. You learn something new
Boring.
every day.
Yeah. You
Boring.
know what? I am
This is
glad
bad radio.
to know that, and I am going to now portray Charlemagne in a biopic.
Good for
There
you.
you go.
You're
a dead one.
Good for you. Good for you.
Okay, so the Arkells then changed their name to the Arkells, which is named after Arkell Street in Westdale neighborhood of Hamilton near McMaster University, where they all went to school. Kerman graduated with a BA in poli-sci, which really makes sense for a lot of the lyrics in the Arkells discography.
Mm-hmm.
Their debut album, Jackson Square, was released on the 28th of October, 2008 on Dine Alone Records. In late 2008, they toured across Canada as the opening act for Matt Mays and El Torpedo. And later that year, they performed the halftime show at the Vanier Cup in their hometown.
Yeah, it's the college football championship.
College
right?
football
Yeah.
championship. It's
Nice.
our Rose Bowl, baby.
Yes, mama.
Not nearly as good talent.
No.
No.
But guess what? Our alma mater that we dropped out of, they've won the Vanier Cup more than any other team.
Oh, learn something new as well.
Yeah.
I could give less of a fuck.
Okay, so getting back to the Arkells, in 2010 they won the Juno for Best New Group, which was the first of many of their Junos. They've we've talked about this before on the podcast, but basically, if you're a band in Canada and you're good, you will win the Junos for 10 years straight.
At some point, yes.
And if you don't win, you'll be nominated for 15 to 20 years.
Yes.
So in 2011, they released their sophomore album, Michigan Left, and shortly after, Dan Griffin left the band to go back to school, and he was replaced by Anthony Carone.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, we have a lot of material on that.
Really?
Well, he's responsible for the change in
sound.
sonic shift, we think, to the Springsteen era.
Yeah, man.
He is the missing piece of the band, dude. Have you seen them live?
I have not seen. Okay, I was going to talk about this later because I've only seen them. I was at their album launch for Rally Cry at Union Station, so I saw them do an acoustic set in like Union Station with thousands of people standing around them, and that was really fucking cool because that was one of those moments that you could hear a pin drop. And the only other time I saw them was on the X92 train because when they play in cities, they'll do a weird one-off fucking free show. And it's just like, if you're lucky, you get to go and see it.
Yeah.
And they played, they started at Crowchild Station and they went all the way to downtown. And it was just literally guitar and fucking clapping. And it was also really fucking cool. But I've never seen them live with like plugged in instruments.
Yeah, proper venue.
Oh, yeah.
You see them in a train and a train station. Like
Actually, yeah. Every time I've seen them, there's been trains.
there's been trains involved.
Yeah, I know that's really funny. But no, that was something that we were discussing was like one of the main components that he wanted to talk about was Anthony's contribution to this.
Yeah.
The transition in eras of the Arkells.
The sound, man, like especially like the first three songs, like the impact of the keyboard in those songs, Fake Money, To Come to Light, to Cynical Bastards. It's like
but Dirty Blonde, like do 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 no, but no,
right? 11 song 4, I think.
Dude, like I think basically every song has a keyboard hook in it.
Exactly, and it's just they're so hardcore. Like I don't think in in the albums previous, Michigan Left and Jackson Square, that it's like, you know, the keyboard's there, but it's not the leading riff.
No, it was padding the mix. It was
padding.
It wasn't leading the charge. Like now, when you see them, dude, Max Kerman and Anthony Carone, they're co-frontmen. It's literally Springsteen and Clarence Clemens. That's the dynamic that they are having on stage, and it's like that's when it all changed for the boys. I think, yeah.
No, it totally makes sense because like everything before High Noon was a little heavier in sound, you know? Like it sounded and especially like I do think that you're right because the keyboard from High Noon forward is I would say one of the most important elements of each song.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none. Yeah, bar none. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would not be the same without it. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I know you're still going through the history, but
no. There's
there's
no issue with the interruptions. Like when we have guests on, the format kind of takes second fiddle. So if you guys want to talk about something, just fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not the format doesn't really matter. Yeah, no. We're not sticklers for it.
We're really not sticklers for it. I could
we could hardly keep to the format on our own. So you know.
I know I'm a fan of the show.
The format fucks off for long conversations about nothing. Quite often, yeah.
Okay, so I do want to say Whistleblower, which was like the lead single off of Michigan Left. Mm-hmm. This is a connection to the city. It was used as the Calgary Hitmen's intro song for the 2011-2012 season, and it was also used in the NHL 13 game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Vidya game.
That's right.
The video game.
The Vidya game.
Very nice shell.
Fucking shell, brah. Let's fucking shell it up. All right. And then in 2012, they won the Juno for Group of the Year. Mm-hmm. And in September, the band played Gian Gomeshi's 1982 book launch in Toronto.
Ooh, that's somebody that's tough to talk about nowadays.
Big ol' oof.
Didn't they, girl?
Ooh.
Well, it's funny. I was actually listening to Q this week, and they were talking about that new movie, I forget the name of it now, Women Talking, I think it's called. And it's like about like the Mennonite women that got sexually assaulted, and they were on Q, and the director, Sarah Polley, was there. She's like, yeah, it feels weird talking about sexual assault in this studio.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, and fucking they're like, do we laugh at this?
Oh.
It's pretty on the nose.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it feels like that's accurate.
You know what? It's so funny because like I was working at CJSW when that all happened, like when that all came out, and I just remember a very big shift in the energy in the studio where like everybody was like, we don't want to talk about this because this is awkward, but then everybody was fucking talking about it, and I was like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we just focused on weird indie music like we're supposed to do. Let's not talk about this horrible dude.
One thing I wish that happened though after that is I wish Billy Bob Thornton slapped the shit out of him during that interview. That's the only thing I wish is like Billy Bob Thornton threw hands now that everything's come out. Like fucking, I would love to see him smack him around a little bit.
Dude, I would love to see him use his guitar for good for once and smash it over his head.
That's Santa.
Bad.
Oh, fuck. Okay, but the same year they also started a tradition of sending fans digital downloads and postcards at Christmas.
Ooh, that's lovely.
Which is very nice of them. Okay, so we're gonna skip. That was lovely of the fellas.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna skip forward past High Noon now. Their fourth album, Morning Report, was released on August 5th of 2016, which was the year that we all met each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was when we were starting university. Mm-hmm. This was an absolute fucking banger of an album, too, but it did not nearly get the same, hype that High Noon got. But I do remember the singles on this. Like, you had Private School, you had Knocking at the Door.
Fuck yeah.
And, like, those were just bangers that were played fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a little lag there. You guys got any comments about that album? Like, where does it fall in the Arkells discog for you?
Oh, about Morning Report.
Yeah, where does that fall in the discog
like,
for you?
Like when we all heard Private School, we were fucking stoked, man. It was that was a great way to hear them come back, and it was really funny because like when we all heard it, we heard it on an AM radio at like this fucking Music Yoda's dude in Selkirk, Manitoba that we were staying with.
That's awful.
And it was just the funniest setting to hear the brand new Arkells in, but like right away I think we all knew, we were like, oh yeah, this is a sick, already good follow up.
Well, yeah, it felt like they were taking another step forward, like getting kind of weird with like a little bit of spoken word, like really like hilarious, like rapping almost, and then an explosion that chorus, and then fucking dude, and then like I know Nolan's always been a big nerd for it. Like next time you listen to it, listen to the drums in the last chorus. It switches from
so live.
It switches from he's doing the like the hi-hat beat like through the whole chorus. Fuck off, and then like randomly he switches to a ride. Just like in the middle of it, like
in the middle of a fucking bar.
It felt like it was spur of the moment, and they kept the take.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta just like listen to it with that in mind next time. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know, that whole era of the High Noon transitioning into the Morning Report album cycle was like, it was such a fucking peak.
Yeah,
that's them at their peak, man. That's them at their best. Like,
and obviously Knocking at the Door was just
wow. Yeah, that song fucks.
Wow,
fucks it.
Dude, Knocking at the Door was actually my like. Every time I'd go into an audition, I would be listening to it before I'd fucking go in, and I swear to God, it just got me into like the right fucking mind to go in there and just be myself, because I'm like, oh God, it's just such a good hype song.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome song.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'd say though, like, with having High Noon being the premise of all this in mind, I still believe to the day that High Noon is the front to backer that I'll cherish forever. Even though like Morning Report has so many, like you say, singles on it that are just fucking unbelievable and just gargantuan songs for them. That's the front to backer album filled with the best lot of those.
Yeah, that's the one I'll show my grandkids.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the classic on the shelf.
Well, and especially because Morning Report has a couple of duds on it. It has a few songs that you're like, I'm gonna just skip it.
Yeah, it's got a skip or two, definitely.
Yeah,
make like one specifically for me.
Yeah,
which is your one.
Whatever. I'm not here to talk smack about the boys. They're still one of my favorite bands of all time. I've seen them a zillion times.
No, we're just gonna shit.
If they ever see this, I love you.
Gods are they won't.
And if they don't, fucking passenger seat sucks.
Fuck, that's so the clip. Okay, so the video for Private School features cameos from Lights, Dave Monks of Tokyo Police Club, and Steve Jocks, formerly of Sum 41, who also directed the music video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They released the song Round and Round, and that was then featured in the EA Sports game NHL 17. And at the Juno Awards, they were nominated for Group of the Year and Rock Album of the Year. They performed their viral hit Drake's Dad live on the television broadcast, and then released the single Knocking at the Door, which was a protest track for the Women's March. And the track shot to #1 on the Canadian alt-rock charts, where it spent 14 weeks at #1. It also became their first #1 active rock single, and they performed it at the NHL Awards and the iHeartRadio Awards. So, big fucking year for them.
Yeah.
They get a lot of love from EA Sports.
Yeah. EA loves them.
Yeah. Fucking nobody loves
EA. They still do.
Yeah.
You'll hear one fucking on all the time.
Maybe that's why EA has all those like pay-to-play games, because they have to keep paying the Arkells.
But, to be fair, as a Canadian that grew grew up playing the NHL games, there was something about the soundtracks, especially in the games. Like I remember NHL 06 had a fucking wicked sound. It had Red Flag, Billy Talent. Like there's a couple of soundtracks from fucking NHL that actually are really, really, really solid.
I fucking learned about Paramore because of NHL.
Yeah.
08.
Oh yeah.
You
like,
know,
fucking, it's they've had some. They
literally, man.
They certainly nowadays. I haven't played the game in a while, but nowadays the soundtrack is I played the new one a little bit. There's a couple good songs. The rest are kind of iffy. But what did I hear? There's a Canadian band from fucking Montreal. They're a female punk rock band. They got a track on the new game, and it's pretty fucking solid. I forget their name, but yeah, a really good track. They opened for Billy Talent when I saw them. I forget their name too. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, this is a question for you guys, because you've seen Billy Talent live. I have not. Have you guys seen Billy Talent?
Yeah, I saw them Dead Silence tour. Probably around the same time as all this shit's happening. 2013 maybe, something like that.
Wow. And Sam, you said you saw them?
Yeah, they played at Coke Stage.
Oh shit.
I saw them when I was pretty young on the Coke Stage.
That is so cool.
I saw them in May. It was pretty fucking wicked.
Okay, so this is kind of a sidetrack, but controversial opinion from me. Dead Silence was their last great album.
I still like their
again, in case anyone in the future ever listens to this, I'm gonna withhold my opinions being in the industry, but I'm not gonna disagree with what you're saying.
I mean, like, for an album that goes like front to back,
yes.
Their first three albums I can listen front to back. Dead Silence I can listen front to back. And they've had they've had some great songs since then.
Yeah.
But those were just the bangers. All right, so getting back to the Arkells, on August 15th, 2018, the band announced that their fifth studio album, Rally Cry, would be released on October 19th. And they had an album release at Union Station where they would let people get shirts silk screened with like different fucking logos on it. And then you could get a picture with them, which I got a picture with the Arkells, and I was so happy.
Oh, shit.
I fucking wanted to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, I was cheesing in my pants a little. And that was when they started this trend of doing the weird pop-up shows like I talked about, the fucking X Train. The last time they were here, they played the Calgary Tower, which was really cool.
Yeah,
I was super bummed I didn't get to see that one. And then the album peaked at number 12, and then the tour featured Lord Huron opening. None of their subsequent releases have like cracked into the top 30, I think it is. Mm-hmm. But like they've again still had really good songs. It's just been that like that was the last album that like as an album charted.
Yeah.
I feel like that was also though, I would say maybe their most political album.
Rally Cry. Yeah, because you got American Screams, you got People's Champ. Yeah. They really leaned into that. They wanted to anthemize their political side. Relentless is good. Yeah. That one was like apparently that one was like
co-wrote by Tragically Hip.
Well, it was a quote about Gord Downey,
but it was co-written by them.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Relentless Like a Dog on a Bone.
Like a Dog on a Bone
was I can't remember what's the guitarist name of the Hip. Help me out, boys.
No, I don't know.
Sam. You know him.
Sam the Tech Man.
Go.
Fill it in. You know what? But yeah, that was a quote from him apparently about Gord Downey. I may be wrong about that.
Oh, that's cool.
The details, but
no, he's not.
Okay,
you're good.
Yeah, but anyways, no, that's but see here again, circling back to High Noon. I think I don't know if there's really is I don't know if I would say there is a political song on the album. I think that's maybe why it's such a good record too, is it feels like a personal record where they're like talking about youth and like making out in on a camping trip and stuff like that.
Actually, Fake Money is a political song.
What's that? Which
Fake
one?
Money. Because Fake Money is anti-capitalist, and then what's it called? Cynical Bastards as well. That one is very fuck. I had a note on it and I lost it here. But the Cynical Bastards was like their big political one, but because it's so fucking happy and upbeat, you don't notice it.
You missed it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, because I was just like scrolling through the track list. I'm like, yeah, that one makes me happy. That one makes me happy.
Yeah. And speaking of track list, should we get into the track list and notable singles?
Yes.
Oh my God. Let's.
Sorry, I'm crashing a little bit right now.
You're crashing?
Yes.
How are you crashing right now?
I'm about to take a snooze when I get home.
Dude, I am so high energy because I am going to go see Mark Norman tonight.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is he here?
He's in Calgary tonight.
Yeah, he's been here here for I guess this is his third day or
third
second?
day, and I think it's the 6th show.
Yeah.
I'm going to the late show because it was sold out.
Nice.
So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, can I get a ticket to the late show?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I'll see." And then the Laugh Shop emailed me and they're like, "We'll let you and Siobhan come in. Don't worry about it." And I was
There we
like,
go.
"Fucking
Perfect.
A, awesome."
Can you say
nice,
and Aaron?
man.
And Aaron. Well, she already tried to bring like 2 more people, and I was like, I can't sneak in like a whole fucking group of people. Like, it's literally gonna be us. That's it. Like, I'm like, I need to still work.
Are you a Tuesday?
Pardon?
Are you a Tuesday?
I'm a Tuesday.
Fuck yeah. He's also got a podcast with Sam Morrill. That's the theme song for that podcast, the We Might Be Drunk theme song. That's what I was going for with you, motherfuckers.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that is one of my favorite podcasts,
Yeah,
I think.
that was actually on my list. I'm a big fan. I love Mark Norman.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed. There's a really tragic story about how I didn't get tickets to this show.
It's so heartbreaking.
My boss, I watched his cat, so he's like owed me money for like 3 months for watching his cat, and I was like, fuck it, man, I don't even care about the money, just buy me tickets to Mark Norman. I'm gonna go with a couple of my buddies. He's like, oh yeah, I got you. Never fucking did. It got sold out.
Oh,
Yeah, it got sold out. So pretty heartbroken. Yeah, no.
That bastard.
And he still hasn't paid me. So it's like, fuck it. I need to grow a backbone. Like, fucking guy still hasn't paid me. So.
Okay, so getting into the notable
Yes.
tracks and singles. Okay, so these were the ones that I remembered from the radio, so I just wrote them down, and then I started finding like info out about them. Hey Kids, Cynical Bastards, 1111, which was the 4th single. It went platinum. Leather Jacket, which was the 3rd single, and it was their highest charting one. It was on like number 88 on like the adult contemporary. Come to the Light, which was the 1st single on the album, and it was number 2 on the Canadian alt charts. Never Thought That This Would Happen was the 2nd single. It was 46 on Canadian Rock, and Dirty Blonde. All fucking bangers.
dude, I know. And that's not even mentioning there's some depth in the track list too. Like I mentioned before, there's What Are You Holding On To? I think Crawling Through the Window would have been I think that's the logical conclusion to the album. Always kind of felt that. It's like I think that's one of my favorite ones. If they ever play that live, like that's a tearjerker for sure. Like, I mean, honestly, Systematic kind of fucks too, but
Yeah, I forgot about
cool
Systematic.
Yeah, Systematic is one of the top tracks for me.
Nolan's getting ready for work now, so I'm holding down the fort. But
That's okay.
He does. We've both thought for the longest time Systematic can eat its own ass because it doesn't fit with the thematic element. Like, it really kind of is it's a sore thumb on the record, but they put it at the end for that exact reason. It's kind of a cool way to close the record.
Oh yeah,
it's a fun little hint at what's to come from the Arkells down the road. And now that you've seen what they've done, now you kind of can look back and be like, oh, okay, whatever. They're goofing around. It's a fun jam. Like, but yeah, it always felt like dark and evil. And I was like, well, it's this pretty much feel good record. It's a really funny way to close out the record. So yeah, no one just like said from the doorway.
No, that's okay.
Fuck Systematic.
That's okay. Thanks for coming on, Nolan. We'll miss you for the rest of the podcast.
We'll miss you for the last 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
He's going back.
Okay, so gonna get into the reception here. Metacritic, it's 74 out of 100. AllMusic gave it 4.5 out of 5.
That's a pretty good fucking rating for AllMusic.
For AllMusic,
yeah, that's a good rating.
Rating. And this quote from Timothy Monger, it's funny because we've been talking about it all the whole episode. But in his review, he said, it's a logical progression following 2011's Michigan Left, which dialed down some of the rock heft from their 2009 debut, replacing it with bits of slightly more complex pop or ornamentation. On High Noon, both the Springsteen-style stadium rockers and the modern pop synth bits have been dramatically emphasized to mix results. In the end, it's clear that the Arkells want to be a big band, and they've put themselves out there in a big way with High Noon. Which, it's so true.
That's summed up a good chunk of our conversation in one quote.
That really did.
Yeah.
Dude, it's almost like we are better than the critics because we're like a Facebook post and the critics are like Twitter.
Nice. I like that. I like that analogy.
That's so fucking funny. But no, like, I think we said it better because, like, there's a lot of, like, I don't know, for us, especially for me and Nolan, and from the sounds of it, you guys too, like, there's a lot of personal connection with the album too, that, like, it's a time and place album where, like, it really, whenever I put it on, I still go back to that time and place where I first heard it. And I think that review, albeit, you know, pretty favorable, kind of ixnays the personal element from it. And then it has a little backhanded compliment. It's like they're trying to be a big band or whatever. It's just like, no, dude, for me, like, they are 100% succeeding at being a fucking big band.
They did it, yeah. I agree.
They're going above and beyond. They're not, I guess it's whatever, maybe there's that, like, douchey, like, critics sort of, like, whatever fucking ego thing they have where they have to, like, if you're trying a little bit too hard, it's not cool anymore. Like, to me, that was when it was like, trying that hard is cool as fuck. You know? Like, that's what I thought when I heard this record. I'm like, the fact that they're trying this hard, they're just trying to write a classic record, and I always thought it came through. Fuck that guy.
Fuck Timothy.
Fuck Timothy Monger.
But you're right. It's a time and place thing, because I think about, even listening this week, like, I dove back into the album for first time in a couple of years, in all honesty, and it was like, I'm thinking back to, like, I was in high school. It was, we went and saw them at Stampede. You're sneaking in alcohol. You're fucking with your buddies, and, you know, you're fucking having a good time.
Totally,
it took me right back back into the memories of you know, that time in my life, and it holds a special place for me because of that as well. It's like, you know, it's something that formulated growing up, right?
Exactly. And I can't, for some reason, like, I just started revisiting it maybe a year ago after a few years of not listening, and it was the same thing for me. But I don't know, I just had this, like, profound thing where I was just like, it feels like that's exactly what they meant to do. I don't know if that's true, but, like, everyone that I talked to about the record, I mean, a lot of people, we're all kind of the same age. I think even you guys, I think we're all kind of the same age, but it's just like everybody had one of the best summers of their life in 2014, and a lot of us had that fucking album in the deck of our fucking Honda Civics ripping around. Like, I don't know, like, it just, for whatever reason, it feels like they meant to do that, and I still kind of get that vibe every time I listen to this record. So,
well, and I felt like it had a 3-summer shelf life, in my opinion, because 2014, 2015, and 2016, I have memories with this album specifically because, like, it was getting played on the radio so much, like, all 3 of those years, and I mean, still to this day, but specifically then, and it was like 2016 specifically for me, I think, is when it was like, that was when it was my fucking summer with it, because, like, That was the summer that I moved into the fraternity. One of my best friends was off work because he had fucking cut his hand open, so it was just him and I hanging out all fucking day, and then the fraternity forcing me to go to university, and then like
as you do,
you
yeah,
fucking do, and like so like I had just like no pressure that fucking summer. It was one of the best times. I was like doing all this shit with Late Night at the Plaza.
Yeah.
Like every single thing about that summer to me was just like a beautiful fucking memory.
Well,
dude, but that's it. That's it. It literally, when you listen to music, it makes you remember hyper specific shit, like your buddy cutting his fucking hand open. Like somehow you're listening to fucking Dirty Blonde and you picture your fucking buddy with a goddamn bandage around his fucked up hand. Like that's the funniest thing in the world to me. Just, like,
I mean, you remember the specific things, but then like for me, I get the feeling kind of comes over arching. Like fucking dude, I was listening to Come to Light the other day and it came on. I was like, oh fuck yeah! I was in my car. I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude! Like literally right back into hearing it for the first time. I was fucking like just dude, when I got my driver's license, I was like, this is fucking sick. I remember cruising around to that and fucking dude. Like it really got my dick nice and hard.
Dude, any work of art that makes you audibly go, oh fuck yeah, alone in your car, that's a winner, dude. Like,
absolutely, no doubt, man. Like I had to. I was like, oh my god, right at the start, the opening, I was like, oh dude, like that took me right back to fucking sneaking beers out of my dad's fridge and fucking like getting drunk in my hot tub, like just fucking right back to the good old days, man.
All right, so I'm gonna finish up the reception here. We only got 3 things left with it. It sold in its first week 5,200 copies. It was debuted at number 3 on the Canadian Albums chart. 40,000 copies by 1 year later. It eventually went platinum, and it won the Juno for Rock Album of the Year, and they won Group of the Year for the second time.
Fuck yeah.
It was also longlisted for the Polaris Prize. So this album, like, you know, we've talked about it. It was the thing that blew them up. It really, really blew them up. Culture at the time, it was hipster hit the mainstream. It was fucking, it was dope. Everybody that was not cool was cool all of a sudden. We all had that fucking collective feeling as a group, and we were just like, yeah, you know what? We're alt and we're cool. All right. So every episode, we review the album out of 10.
Fuck yeah, we do.
We rate it out of a technical, a musical, a lyrical, an album art, reception, and does it hold up? Technical element. Let's go.
Nolan, come back.
Nolan!
Nolan! Nolan, come back!
Nolan the moment. He's about to come. We're wrapping up here.
Nolan, come back!
Give us our score. We'll make
the best part.
We'll make it nice and fast for you. Oh, you look sharp.
Oh.
Yeah. He looks like. Never mind.
Yeah. I look like his older sibling.
Okay, let's go.
You look like a waiter at a morgue.
the old, you're bringing out the little finger sandwiches at the funeral home.
Okay, just his hands in bread.
He's got breadsticks on each finger. Okay, so technical element. I'd rate it pretty high because it's mixed very fucking well. I would say this is like a 9 out of 10 on the technical element.
I'll go.
I have no dispute to that.
Yeah, I'll go 9.5. That's fine. We'll leave it there.
Yeah. All right. 9.25. Musical element. I'm gonna let somebody else answer first.
Yeah. Why don't you? What did the boys go?
As we were talking about the Anthony Carone's contributions, I think elevated the performances from every band member. This is I think objectively their best record. I don't think there's any there's no denying it's the best record. The guys are fucking on fire. Every riff is iconic. The bass lines honestly are kind of the hero of the first 2 albums, and they almost take a back seat on this record unless you listen to them and you're like, Nick's still doing his fucking shit. He's laying down his stuff. Fucking what's the drummer's name?
Tim
Tim Oxford fucking
Tom's Ford.
Tom Ixford is, he's laying it down. Dude, every guy is firing. This is the best Max's voice has sounded. It's the best compositions. I can't say enough good things about the musicianship.
Yeah.
I'm going 9. I'm going 9. Whatever.
Yeah,
They're not rushed,
I can get on board with that.
What are you going? 8?
I'm gonna go 9.5.
9.5.
Oh, he's going 9.5.
Yeah, I mean, catchy hooks. Great sounding music. It's all fucking
solid melody.
Yeah. I'll go 9.
Yeah.
I'll go 9.5 so
Cool.
that we bump the whole album up to 9.5 right now. Lyrical. Lyrically, this is a fucking great album. We've often talked about the balance between being laced in metaphor and being way too fucking literal, and I felt like this was a good balance.
This is a funny thing I talk about with Nolan's partner a lot because, dude, once a month we have an Arkells debate and we talk about how whatever, but this is one where in the first couple albums you were always wondering what the fuck they're talking about, and then on the newer albums you know exactly what the fuck they're talking about. On this one it was like you say, it's the perfect balance of I miss wondering what the fuck they're talking about, but they're also pretty upfront with there's certain songs that are very literal. They're Dirty Blonde. They never thought this would happen. It's all just really good storytelling, and they really broke that part of their songwriting open on this record. I feel like the storytelling. So yeah. Lyrically, I'm going 8.5. They're not changing the world, but they're definitely honing their craft on this one. What do you think?
I think I'd go probably 8 on that.
Yeah, I'm in similar ballpark. I mean, I feel like we always agree with each other on everything. So yeah, I'll go with an 8 as well.
So we're at an even 9 right now. All right, album art.
Nice.
The album art's cool, but I also don't think that it's anything that's super special. And I don't think that that's necessarily something that the Arkells are known for as their album art. Their album art always does kind of feel a little bit like an afterthought compared to a lot of bands that are in similar veins. I would say it's interesting because it takes you a while to figure out that there's a fucking airplane on the cover, and an airplane flying in front of the sun. That's pretty fucking cool, with almost a marble background.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would probably go a 7 on it. It's it's not special, but it's really not bad.
Yeah, I'm going 6.5. It's It's the album art deserves to be cooler, but it's also exactly what it is when you pick it up. So it's maybe I'll go with 7.
I'll go 6.5. Yeah. I think you both brought up some good points about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's not anything you do know the album just because we're familiar with it. If I see it, I know it's the album, but I wouldn't say it'd stand out to me if I was shopping for records. If I never knew the band, it wouldn't be something that jumps out to me.
I love you. I'm taking my departure. It's been lovely with you guys. Go easy
Give
on
him
him.
one more taste of Gilbert.
Go easy on my lover here.
Have a good shift.
Some wonderful teeth, and they're going to be put to good use tomorrow, chomping down something good. All right. Like Kobayashi. Much love, fellas. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Much
thank
love.
you. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, fun.
I know we're asking.
Okay, so next element, because we're at an 8 right now. Reception. It was well received beyond fucking belief. I would have to give it a 10 based on the fact that it was critically, commercially, awards wise. I would go a 10 because it's their only album that still has a lot of the singles getting radio play. It's still in a lot of the curated playlists on Spotify and Apple Music. Their songs are used a lot by a lot of people in their reels and everything.
Yeah.
They've had a resurgence on TikTok with 1111. So I would put it at a 10.
Fucking A.
That-
I'll go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I'll go 9 just to be diplomatic about it. Whatever. Timothy Twatface was given some backhanded compliments there, so whatever. I think the audience liked it more than the critics even did. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
we'll go
I'm gonna go in at an 8. I think an 8 is fair. I mean, I think a 10 might be a little too high, but I'll aggregate it out. I think an 8 is a fair score in my opinion. Just, they did get a lot of success here in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, but compared to, I know we rate it a little differently because, we've done big bands, we've done smaller bands. We try to not always do they get held to the same standard because, I mean, we've done albums that have won so many Grammys and, that are, one of the most iconic albums of all time, and we give the reception a 10 on it. So it's kind of, so I'll go an 8 on it. I'll just to balance it out a little bit.
All right, so we're at an 8.5 out of 10 right now. Does it hold up? I'd say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, you're saying that it lasted 3 summers in a row is a testament to how well it holds up. And then Aaron's point of like popping it in last week and just being like, oh fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's still, this motherfucker holds up and will for the foreseeable future.
It's still on the radio all the time here too. Like, I don't listen to X92 myself, but one of my coworkers has it on his desk and he plays it all day. And I hear, a song off this album probably, every day or every other day. It's usually Leather Jacket. But by us song, I mean the one song that they played on repeat the entire time, but that's the one I hear.
Yeah.
So
all
it
right.
really holds up.
Yeah.
So 8.5 out of 10 for the Arkells High Noon.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for joining us today. Mm-hmm. It's been such a fucking joy. I loved that we made this 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And, you are on the podcast every week anyways, so it's kind of funny that, now you're on it and talking, not just singing.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. Dude, we would love to come actually hang out with you guys, even if it's not just for an episode. We'll go have a fucking couple beers.
Fuck yeah,
at the new Rockin' for Dollars.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Or we got to go to Ship
or Modern Love.
Yeah, I mean,
Ship.
Who knows? We might be going to Vancouver here in March. So
But
yes, come through.
But yeah, no.
March 3rd. If you have any Vancouver listeners, March 3rd, we're playing at the Rec Room, Burnaby. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Let's fucking do it. And stage. Also, the album Right in the Kisser is out. Get it. Wherever the fuck you are, get it. It's amazing.
Get it, baby.
Mm-hmm. It's a 10 out of 10 on the Misfits on Vinyl rating scale.
And one thing
you might want to revamp that review once you hear it.
One thing I do want to say,
6.5.
I really appreciate your time coming out. I mean, it was a long episode today. It's I appreciate you taking a couple hours out of your day to come talk to us, and
boys, I wish we could go a couple more hours, man. We got some more we can
fucking Red Bull. One more thing too, I want to say just before we clue up here. I was at the Tea House on Wednesday night with Sam and my brother, seeing Spencer's show he put on for Sandy Cooper Black. Raising some money for the rodeo kid, and he did a really good job. It was a really, really fun room. There was a lot of Brokeback Mountain jokes.
There was a ton.
Because there was a lot of cowboys there. There was a lot of Brokeback Mountain jokes. The comedians all killed, and it was really funny, and it was a good night. And you guys raised like fucking $750, $800.
We raised $690.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
So I'm super happy about that. Thank you again for coming out, and honestly, thank you to everybody who came out to that show because it meant a lot to me. That was the first time I was doing a fundraiser show, and honestly, it went so well. I'm super excited to do another one at some point, But yeah, it means a lot to me. I'm glad that we were able to make some money for Sandy and his family. His family seemed really happy about it. Nice. Everybody that was there that knew Sandy came up to me and thanked me afterwards, which was really nice. I had a really good conversation with some of his rodeo buddies afterwards. And one of his family friends who was there, there was a group of like fucking 8 of them who were all sitting there. And she came up afterwards and she was like, yeah, like not only do I appreciate that you did this, but I want to come back to more shows because this was so much fun. So
man, it's so good to laugh too. Like fucking, I'm sure those people needed a laugh with everything going on. And the fact that they were all such good sports too, like,
oh yeah,
fucking props to them. They did not look to be the type. Like fucking, I may have judged a book by its cover. They're all wearing like fucking cowboy hats and boots, and they seemed like a certain, type of crowd. And fucking, they got called gay the whole time and made fun of, and asked how they kiss each other with their cowboy hats on, and all this stuff. Man.
I gotta say, Gabby Rose had the fucking best like riffing of the night.
Oh,
She
yeah.
spent like 5 minutes just like breaking down the logistics of how the two guys would kiss with their cowboy hats on and like how they could improve the cowboy hat kissing.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. So shout out to Gabby.
It was a really fun night, man, and I'm proud of you. Me and Sam are both proud of you. You did a great job, man.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, well, that has been Misfits on Vinyl. Thank you so much for listening and watching wherever you are. And we're going to be back tomorrow to record an episode with the Doohickeys, but that'll be coming out 3 weeks from now.
Yes.
And then we're recording 2 episodes next weekend, and those will be coming out in a month.
Yeah.
So,
well, shout out once again to the Vidos.
Yeah.
We appreciate your company. It's been a lot of fucking fun.
It's been
we
a
will
blast.
be doing it again, I guarantee it.
we absolutely will. Thank you so much,
Okay.
and anal contusions.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Streichert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.